Welcome to Recover and Ready. It's time to talk Versus System 2 PCG. I'm Matt, and today we're bringing you Deadpool from the X-Force box. But before we get started, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps spread the word about Versus System 2 PCG. So let's talk Deadpool from the X-Force box. At level 1, he's a 2/4 X-Men affiliated main character with 6 health and range. His ability, Unpredictable, can be used in any combat by flipping a red to give him +4/0, +2/2, or +0/4 at random. His level up condition, Death Follow Me, is fulfilled when 4 characters get KO'd. At level 2, he becomes a 6/6, and in addition to his other abilities, he gains Mr. Assassin. Anytime combat green, KO an enemy supporting character in the combat. So let's break down the abilities at each level, starting with his level 1 ability, Unpredictable. Basically, when you flip that red, you're either going to get randomly a Savage Surprise, an Earth's Mightiest Heroes, or something smack in between Super Senses and Find Cover. Initially, when this card was released, I was a little bit turned off from playing Deadpool due to this ability and its random nature. But I'm the kind of guy that likes to try out as many main characters as possible. And when I did try out Deadpool, I found that he was a lot of fun. And one thing I saw about this ability is that in a lot of scenarios, it actually deters your opponent from attacking into you. If they are playing well, they probably want to be sure that they're not going to get blown out and they're going to be cautious. This means that if they do attack into you, it's probably because they actually are doing it at very little risk. Maybe their guy is already big enough, or maybe they have a plot twist, or maybe it's just not going to matter for some other reason. And this actually gives you a lot of information about what they might have in their hand. In the end, I still don't like that it's random, but if you're running all 8 locations, which you should be, you basically have access to essentially another 8 plot twist combat tricks in your deck, which is cool. But what I really love about Deadpool is that Mr. Assassin ability at level 2. Essentially, every green in your deck represents a way better lethal, since all you have to do is be in combat with the enemy character in order to KO them. This is a huge nerf against your opponent's late game. Try sticking an Eagle in the front row. Deadpool doesn't care, it's out of here. Thing has 4 life, don't care. Galactus is 30/30, wanted to block your main forever. Well, now you're going to have to stick him in the back because Deadpool's coming to town. Go down the list of many late game massive threats and Deadpool simply does not care. For the most part at least. There are exceptions of course, like Eternals, like Gilgamesh, who basically are going to do the same thing they would have anyways, go back to their owner's hands. Or guys that you got to work a little harder to get to, like Liu Kang, you got to have a team attack. Or Agamotto, which you can take down in combination with Boomerang, which is a card that you just play anyways. But like I said, for the most part, when your opponent throws down an absurd late game character, Deadpool's coming for you. Before we get to the deck, let's talk about goals and context. Regarding goals, I'm here to share some ideas on what might make up part of a good or fun Deadpool deck. If there's even 1 or 2 cards or a couple strategy ideas that resonate with you here, I'd be thrilled. Lastly, I'm here to encourage the community to talk about Deadpool, what you think is important in a Deadpool shell, and even what you think is good tech against him. And to talk about context, I'm currently playing this in locals and casuals, although the majority of the deck is legal in a variety of formats. So let's get to the deck. My 1 and 2 cost characters focus on helping me level up quickly with cheap dudes who produce value and I don't mind them dying quickly. On 1, we got a playset of Multiple Man and Prowler. By grabbing extra copies of Multiple Man and putting them directly onto the battlefield, Multiple Man gives Deadpool a quick way to level up, and in combination with Prowler and with multiple Mans, also ends up being a good team attacker in the early game. And Prowler, of course, is a favorite of many. He thins your deck by drawing a card, replaces himself in your hand. He's great to underdrop along with another character later in the game, or he's great even on the first turn just to dig you a little deeper. On 2, we're going to continue the tradition of playing guys that are cheap and that provide value right off the gates and who you're not afraid to ram into your opponent once they come out because they've already gotten you something. Mantis and Ahab are my choices here, although I think you could play Kane instead of one of these. I'm not gonna lie, Kane is a pretty enticing option because every basic that he grabs you is a potentially impactful combat trick that's in Deadpool's pocket. And if I were to play Kane, I would be playing him in Mantis's place. Moving on to Ahab, he's great on several fronts. He dies quickly to provide you XP, and he gives you both card advantage and selection in his Hound pile. For Ahab's Hounds, I like Iceman, Banshee, Silver Samurai, and Psylocke. Early in the game, Iceman helps stave off wounds while providing XP for Deadpool's level up. And of course, underdropping Iceman along with another character in the late game can be a huge tempo swing as you freeze down your opponent's most powerful character. Banshee ends up being cool because the Daze ability can be kind of a Swiss Army knife if you think about it. It has a lot of hidden modes. It can knock off counters, it can disable an annoying ability that your opponent is locking you down with for a turn, it can get you in for an important point of damage or get you past something that you need to get past in order to hit their back row. In summary, turning a character face down from dazing them can provide you with a variety of possibilities. Silver Samurai is a great way to close games out by yanking your opponent's main character to the front row and attacking them in a situation where they can't play a plot twist. And Psylocke provides a little bit of redundancy here, since when she attacks a character on an enemy player's side, they have to discard a plot twist. So both Silver Samurai and Psylocke provide you with some ways to lessen the chance that you get hosed when you go in for a crucial attack. Now that we're past Ahab's Hound pile, let's resume and move on to the 3-drops. I think Wolverine's a good option for a 3-drop in this deck. He's got 3 health, so he sticks around for a while. And I like his ability to pressure your opponent's main character, especially since Deadpool's green can clear out the way for him to go in for that attack. Additionally, he can provide Deadpool with a team attacker in a pinch. Hopefully you're not sick of seeing her, because Jessica Jones is still good, especially when you're playing a main character with range like Deadpool. She continues to be one of the best blockers in the game with that combination of flight, tough, and 3 health, and of course her ability to shut down opposing characters' yellow abilities is clutch. On 4, we have the hate curve of Massacre, Boomerang, and Lilith. For a character with low attack like Deadpool, Massacre provides powerful team attacking. And if you're able to use Massacre independently of Deadpool, the lethal guy's out of the way, what he can put in plus Deadpool's green ability basically can ensure that your opponent has 0 board. The ultimate Swiss Army knife, Boomerang, will provide you a variety of tools to fight through your opponent's mess. And the powerful removal of Lilith, everyone's favorite planeswalker, can also help dismantle your opponent's board. On 5 and 6, we're playing great beaters and blockers. Not only are Sage and Thing functionally massive attackers, but Sage's 10 defense and flight, and Thing's 4 health make them blockers that can potentially stick around. And last but not least, we have our finishers on 7 and 8, Zorn and Silver Surfer. As if Massacre, Deadpool, Boomerang, and Lilith weren't enough, Zorn gives us yet another way to remove pesky characters. Additionally, if when Zorn comes down, if you're not ready to finish out the game yet, I appreciate the fact that he can continue to block for Deadpool. All that said, I think that either Ghost Rider or Ares could be a good fit in Zorn's place if you wanted, especially Ghost Rider because you have so many supporting characters that you are playing on 1 and 2 that you just want to die instantly. When he comes down, you should have a KO pile with enough guys to do some damage. For this same reason, I'm playing Silver Surfer. When he comes down, we'll check that KO pile, we'll have a bunch of guys, and he'll be huge. Last but not least, if you haven't managed to draw into any of those multiple man yet, but you draw into one when you have Silver Surfer in play, well, it's time for him to get jacked. Now that we've gotten through all the characters in the deck, it's time to move on to plot twists, equipment, and locations. First, we got Defend the Weak, who provides a meaningful stat boost to Deadpool in order to dodge some wounds. Uncanny Defense is another cool card for this very same purpose. With all these cheap value guys on 1 and 2, you certainly wouldn't mind them swapping places to soak up a wound instead of Deadpool. And for equipment, I think that Deadpool especially appreciates the stat boost from X-Men uniform since he's a little bit understated to begin with. And particularly, I've found that when you can open with X-Men uniform, things can tend to snowball. For locations, as you can expect, we're playing the full play set of Fortress, Training Ground, and School for the Gifted Youngsters. If you haven't done so yet, feel free to click that deck list link in the description. And if you want to pause right here real quick to see what sets I included in this deck, go ahead and take a peek. Also, make sure to tune the deck according to your preferences and collection. I think there's a lot of possible ways to take Deadpool. Last of all, I hope this video has given you some ideas on how to have some fun with Deadpool. Thanks for making it this far, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Recover and Ready. Make sure to share verses with your friends and have some fun.